Peace, it's Daddy-O from the legendary Stetsasonic, the original hip-hop band. It's time for you to listen to Old Skool Movements Podcast. Remember, we take chains, so tuck them and close them windows.
Easy, it's another episode of the Old Skool Movements Podcast with myself, Mr. Lucas.
Myself, Chris.
I'm Stacks.
And I'm the last dragon. We all know we've got DL, the host with the most. We've got Chris, the knowledge, and we've got Stacks, Mr. I don't like that, but we still love him. And we've got me, Mr. getting warmed up to love Axel Foley. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back.
How long did it take you to write that? You was waiting. You was dying to spit your lyrics. Wicked, man.
And like I said, 2 weeks is too long without my brothers.
Yeah, for real doubt. Well, we're back, and we've got a cracker of a show lined up for you people out there because we know the Versus has been doing its thing, but we got a little change. Today. When you give someone, in the age when you gave someone a £5 note, you got change. But it don't happen now.
It don't happen now.
But on this show, there's a little bit of change. So, we're going to talk about something, something's really close to our hearts because, back in the 80s, we were kids and we had grown-ups that we would listen to, and they would tell us things and they would warn us of things and they would make us feel special and warm and loved with these wise words that they had for us. But I'm not talking about the fantasy words like if you leave your tooth under a pillow, the tooth fairy will come, or if you leave a milk and cookie on the table, Santa Claus will come and deliver your presents. Yeah, none of that stuff. We're talking about everyday things that you would hear. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode is things your parents would say when you were younger. Is that right, Chris?
That'd be it. Some of them some of these things were like superstitious things almost. And
some were superstitious.
Did you believe them? Do you still believe them? Or, were you told some of these things, man?
Or do you say them now to younger ones? Do you say them now to your children?
And some of these you don't hear that much no more as well.
Yeah, but some of these are so passed down. By the time it got to our generation, it sounds too medieval. It's like, that doesn't work in this decade. That old saying is too medieval. You can't say that. But anyway, we're gonna go through a few. We're gonna go through 20 actually. Okay. So yeah, let's get stuck into this one. Things your parents would say when you were younger. So in no particular order, but there's no best one. They're all in the same boat.
Some you've heard, some you ain't.
Some you've heard, some you ain't. And we'll go through some, and maybe Stacks and Leroy. But as you know, ladies and gentlemen, Stacks and Leroy never know what we're going to talk about on these podcasts. So
I'm scratching temple.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
All right, so coming in our first one. So do you remember the days, guys? Do you remember the days when, when we'd run around and you'd get into trouble? Like you'd go out, you'd be out too late, and your friend got into trouble. You both got into trouble, but you blamed your friend for getting you into trouble. And these words right here, if you would have counted how many times you would have heard these words, you'd probably have a lot of money in your pocket. Yeah. And these words are, if your mate told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it too?
Would you do it?
Exactly.
That was a teacher's favourite. That one got dropped by enough teachers, man. The time. That was always they would use that one. If you would jump off a cliff, what would your friend did? Would you do it too?
How many times you guys heard that?
Man,
classic. It still gets banded around now. I think I would use it
now. Yeah,
you use it with the kids now.
Yeah.
I would use it.
Yeah, definitely.
There's slight abbreviations of it as well. There's also if you jumped off a bridge or jumped in front of a train. Yeah, some people said it's different, but I think mine was jump off a cliff. The one I used to hear a lot.
Yeah, it's always a cliff.
Yeah.
Cliffs were big in the 80s because cars went off cliffs. There was Cliff Barnes in Dallas. Cliff Richard. Cliffs were big in the 80s.
Cliffs were big in the 80s.
Cliff was the one you would say. But the mad thing about that saying is you only say it to kids. You wouldn't turn around to your mate and say it. If your mate does something stupid, you wouldn't turn around to your mate and man and say, if you're making it, would you jump on a cliff too? You wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't say it.
It only works on a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
That's why we don't hear it no more.
Yeah, I remember my uncle. He said that to me when
What had you done?
me and my mates we got caught, and I was the one who got caught, knocked down Ginger, and I got caught. And then
The running shoes on.
yeah, and then the person whose door I knocked caught me in it, and then my uncle had to rescue me, and I was like, yeah, but it was them. It was them. It was Would you?
Yeah. Growing up.
We had it.
And you're like, and you can't say anything, cheeky or anything smart Alec-esque, because it would be
get clapped.
Yeah,
You
it would sound stupid,
straight up.
and then you'd get dealt with.
After you've been made to sound like a lemming jumping off of a cliff or whatever they are.
Yeah, that one's a mainstay. That one is, man.
We've got that one. We've got a lot more to go. We're taking you back, guys. So, Chris, what is the next one?
This is another classic one. I used to heard this one a lot. It was always again, maybe when you've done something stupid and you get told something, and you would say to your parents, but I thought they would come back with, they would always come back with, you know what thought did, don't you? Or, they would say something. For years, it was like, what? I don't know what thought did. I don't know what did thought do.
Do we know? Have we found it?
I never heard that one.
There's variations. I think the British variation is thought he farted, but he shit himself. then I've heard other variations of thought he planted a feather and thought it would grow into a hen.
Wow.
That one gets used. Thought peed in the bed and thought he was sweating. Thought followed a muck cart and thought it was a wedding. And thought his bum was hanging out the bed, so he got out to push it in again. That's from all around the place. I've found these.
I've never heard of those answers.
I only know the one I know.
I've heard this. Stacks, you said you haven't heard that saying. Leroy, have you heard that saying?
I've never ever.
You've never heard that saying?
Ever.
Okay.
That's a common one. I thought he farted, but he shit himself.
All right. So
never think what thought.
Let's move on to the next one.
That's such a Chris thing.
This one's another classic now. As we were saying in past podcasts before, no matter how bad you are, even the bad boy up the road, no matter how tough you are on the street, when you go into someone's house, there's maximum respect.
Yes.
Different level. Hello, Miss Person.
Yeah, you are proper respectful, and you're the best boy on the street when you go into a parent's house.
Yeah,
and this question would always come. I would always hear this question. Did you guys ever hear this? So check it now. You're in the 80s. You're at your mate's house, and your mate has done something wrong in the house, or he's even been rude to his mum.
A bit lippy or something. Yeah.
A bit lippy in front of you, right? The mum's there. The mum turns to you and says, "I bet you're not rude like this to your mum."
Yes.
Right, and you have to team up with the mum and be on the mum's side. When your mate knows how you are, and you got to go, yeah, I'm not like that. No, he is out of order.
That's disrespectful. I wouldn't do that.
He is out of order, Mrs. Smith. That is wrong.
How do you talk to your mum like
Give
that?
him
How do you talk to your mum like that? Apologise now.
Give him another backhand. It's true.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever hear that one?
Yeah.
I've heard that one.
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, you would have to be team mum on their side, man. You've got to team up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
You've heard that one?
I have heard that one.
Okay. We're coming into another one. This one, you can't even. If this one was in this generation we live in, you can't say this one now as a parent. But this is a regular in the 70s and 80s. I think it stopped mid 80s.
Yeah.
And this one is whether you wanted something, you didn't get it, you're upset about something, and you make an unnecessary noise, or you've been told off, and you start crying for something minor. What would your parents say to you? They would say to you, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
there's strong words there.
It was strong.
I heard that most over everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
or I'll give you something to cry for.
I'll give you something. I'll give you such a
You had to
hiding.
be on the quickest mute of your mouth
Yeah.
ever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Draw those tears back into your eye sockets.
Yeah.
Now.
Do you remember how you could make tears reverse back into your eyes?
Yeah, it's true.
You had no choice.
How do we have that power to make tears reverse back into our eyes? Wow.
God knows.
And snot will go back up as well.
Yeah, you sucked it all up, man.
Wow.
I'll
give you something to cry about. Damn. And you knew what that was.
You knew what that was.
It wasn't I'm stopping pocket money. It wasn't you're not watching V tonight. It was
immediate. It was immediate. Like,
with the
boy.
With the slipper,
with the slipper or the belt.
Or the belt.
Definitely.
Go and get the belt.
Yeah,
Wow.
mate. You know what it is to say? Go and get the belt.
You go and get the belt, you know.
You go and get your own punishment.
How could you punish a
Choose
kid?
your torture.
Yeah, go and get the belt. Go and get the belt. Why am I going to get the belt for you to beat me?
To lick me.
Go get the belt. You know, when you asked that question, was it your own belt?
No.
Well, actually,
It
one of
was
mine
always
was
go in her wardrobe and go and get that belt.
That belt.
one
I
of mine
always
was during
used to
the
say I couldn't
80s.
find it.
Where the studded belts, we had studded belts, and one of them was a bit heavy, man. Like
Studded belt.
the studded, not the studded, but I had a white one with the silver studs. Always
I remember you had that belt, but I didn't know there was a torture weapon
Yeah,
though.
yeah, licks with that, man.
But how slow was the
Go and
walk?
get the belt.
Go and get
That sounds like using
That's
Gladiator.
child abuse today.
It's true.
Could you imagine?
With the gates
Telling-
open is
Imagine telling social services
And
that.
better the fork.
Yeah. She told me to go and get the belt.
Wow.
But how
Wow.
slow was the walk when you went to go get
Oh,
it?
it was slow,
Like,
man. It was really slow.
I
just
couldn't find it.
shuffling.
It was slow.
I couldn't find the belt.
And then for a few months, I was playing Spider-Man in the bath. I remember I used to climbing around the edge of the bath because it was slippery like Spider-Man. And I remember jumping from the bath to the towel rail thinking I can just stick, but it didn't work. And I ripped the towel rail off the wall.
Ooh.
And the towel rail became a weapon for a good few months. Anything I'd done wrong, I'll be getting licks with the towel rail.
Oh, that is funny.
Oh, fucking hell.
That's child abuse.
but that's the thing. Like, it's good. This is an 80s podcast, but
No one would even ask us.
but hopefully the listeners listening to it can understand what's going on. If any new generation kids are listening to this, they'll think we're
lucky. This is why you're pussy old.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, they needed
With your naughty steps and shit.
Yeah, they're naughty step. What the fuck are naughty
And
step
then
gonna
no
do?
social media.
We
Look at
could
the
even
belt.
sit down after the
Look at the
licks.
fucking
Yeah.
belt.
This is what I'm saying. Go to bed after the licks.
Give me your
Licks,
phone.
no food, go bed.
Take
Yeah.
your phone off you, innit?
Take your phone off you,
Innit?
Oh, crazy.
Confiscation of phones.
All right.
Give me
Let's
your
move
video
on.
games.
Yeah, so that was Stop Crying, or I'll give you something to cry. The words of
Cry for. Oh my God.
All right.
The dreaded
So
words.
the next one. So this one here, right? This is kind of like one I used to get, right? And it was like, my dad gave me options. You know, like if you done something wrong when you was little, and like your parents would just say, "Why are you being so silly? You know, it's a stupid thing to do. Should have done that again." My dad gave me an option. Like that's why I like quizzes, because I was asked questions like idiocy. And so if I did something wrong,
Specialist subject.
yeah, if I did something wrong, my dad would look at me and say, "Are you an ass or something?" And I would think, is there an option here? Am I an ass or am I something?
What's the something? Yeah. An ass is in a donkey. Or a something else.
Yeah. Did any of you guys have an option like that?
I won't give an option.
Yeah. Are you stupid or something?
Yeah.
That would be the one.
Yeah,
innit?
are you
Are you
stupid?
stupid or something? Yeah,
Yeah.
That would get dropped.
You see, it's in the same vein. I think my dad
Yeah.
watched a lot of Eddie Murphy in the 80s and just added the arse. But I was puzzled when I first heard that. I thought, is this correct? Can I answer it and get away with it? Is there a gateway if I say something? I want to be
You
somebody.
knew not to
I
answer.
don't know.
You
Yeah,
couldn't
exactly.
answer that.
No.
Exactly. But the next one is a classic one. We must have all heard this. Like, say you've gone out too late, you've passed your curfew, or you're not in and you've gone somewhere, and someone asks where you are, you've got a bit older, you feel a bit more brash, and your mum would normally say, he's out gallivanting with his friends.
You'd never hear that word any other time.
Yeah.
If they were not happy with you, he's been out gallivanting.
It's gallivanting.
It was part of a negative sentence of going out, wasn't it? Did you guys hear that? Was that something you
like?
Yeah. You're out all night gallivanting with your friends. You're out all day gallivanting with your friends.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Because in those days, we were carefree. In those days, we were just carefree.
Yeah.
We would just go out and go out for hours.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
As kids, we used to go out. Like, remember when we was talking about the 6 weeks holiday?
Yeah.
Where once we've watched all the cartoons in the morning, that's us.
Out.
Why don't you get out of here until it gets dark? And then, rightfully, they do have the right to say he's been out gallivanting with his friends, because we were.
It's true.
We were. Yeah. We did.
Yeah.
Every kid could hold their hands up and say, yeah, we were.
We were gallivanted.
Gallivanted.
Do you not use that word now? Is that in your vocabulary?
No,
you don't hear it.
Not at all.
Did you ever use it? Have you
It
ever
was
used it in a
a
sentence?
No.
Yeah, I'm just going out gallivanting with my mates.
I'm going to start using it.
Wow. And another one. Stacks knows this one, and this one is a nuts one. You lot probably have equivalents again, but this is my equivalent. So, if I had a cut, a graze, a broken foot, a headache, or any form of pain, there was one thing that would soothe my pain, and whatever happened, my mum would always say, Darren, just put some alka-ladder on it.
Alka-ladder?
But in a Bayesian accent, put some alka-ladder on it, man. But the thing is,
what's alka-ladder?
Alka-ladder is like an alcohol rub. So you would use it if you shake your head, like a TCP. It was a Caribbean TCP.
Alka-ladder.
But alka-ladder. But you have to say alka-ladder. You can't put it in syllables. Alka-ladder. Like seriously, and it did. You remember magic, like the magic sponge in football? The 80s, there were magic things, and if your parents said use that, it worked.
Like Tiger Balm and them sort of things.
But alka-ladder was a classic word. I thought only my house had it, and I still think only my house had alka-ladder because I still use it now. It's one of those things that I still use it when I cut my hair.
I've never seen that.
Well, I'll tell you what we used to have in our house. We used to have, if we had a headache, my dad or mum would get bay rum.
Yeah, bay rum.
Slap the bay rum on your forehead.
Yeah.
But if I cut myself, it's surgical spirit, and that was
surgical spirits.
That was not magic. That was pain. That was hardcore pain.
It made your skin turn brown. That one, like stained it. That sort of one.
I don't know if it stained it.
We would have noticed that.
All I know is that it burnt like nothing else. That's all I know.
Yeah, surgical spirits used to sting.
Big
I think alka-ladder
but
was
it used to heal though. They used to heal.
Yeah. So that was, so we all had our forms, TCP. Sometimes Dettol would suffice.
That's another one. Dettol.
Yeah, but alka-ladder was like bringing the Ferrero Rochers out. It's like bringing out the Viennetta. Like we're bringing out classy heals, classy healing potions. Yes, alka-ladder.
I've heard of it.
Love it. Alka-ladder. Sold in Barbados. It must be sold around the Caribbean as well. If you know it, you know it. So
I'm gonna get you some, Chris, if I see some.
Yeah, get some alka-ladder, man.
Sounds like it's worth having.
So Chris, where are we going now? This is a nuts one because we all have phones. We all stare into our phones. But in the 80s, what would our parents say to us, Chris, man?
If you were pulling a funny face, they would say,
"Oh yes,
if the wind blows, you'll stay like that."
If the wind changes,
You don't hear that one no more as well. If the wind changes, you'll stay like that. That's the one.
Mm-hmm. Stop doing that. Yeah, if the wind changes,
But I think that was created by parents. When you done an irritating move,
it was,
It was when you pulled a funny face or open your mouth wide. They were like, "What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Let me tell him this." And he's hopefully
like
he'll close his fucking
It's
mouth.
true.
Yeah.
Embarrassing me in the street.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it when you pulled a nice face, when you're all happy. They would never say that then. It's always
They
when
would
you've
never
got
say
that,
that.
your tongue out or you're doing something or something. But this
Something stupid.
This one dates back to like the late 1800s, and it's originally started as a whole rhyme, and the rest of it is never make a weary face, for if the clock should strike 12 and the wind changes and the cock should crow all at the same time, your face will forever remain in this ugly condition. And it was said as a spell in like I think maybe like the Netherlands or that part of Europe, and it's just evolved from that. So that's sort of where I think it's come from back in the day.
So that's like Gargamel would say.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Your face will stay, Asriel. Let's go away. Yeah. All right.
Belgium, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, your face will change. So yeah. What's the next one, Chris? The next one is the one you were thinking of, Stacks. What's the next one we got, Chris?
This one, yeah. If you were sitting,
this is the one.
Watching, cartoons for a while, and you were sitting there about a meter away from the telly, you'd always get, don't sit that close, you'll get square eyes.
Yeah.
The square eyes business, man. I don't know where that come from, man.
That used to frighten me, though.
The thing is, I used to
believe
did you
that.
not believe? I believe that.
Your pupils would go square or something, innit? I used to think,
because it really is mind over matter, and it's like in reality in life, if you're told something, you start like taking a headache tablet. If you told that kills you, you start to believe.
You start to believe it. Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Like, you would feel your eyes going square.
They would start aching, and you would
just start aching. You think
must
maybe
be going
this
square.
is true.
Yeah.
Maybe if I do watch this for too long.
To be honest with you, from where I'm sitting, it looks like you two have, well, because you both wear glasses, you probably did sit too close and for too long to the television.
Too long.
The evidence is there with our vast information of 80s television.
There you go.
No, but as kids,
they were right.
As kids, because you can see in any generation, as kids, you become engrossed in animation, and you are up close to the TV. We all did it. But when the adults told you, do not go up too close to the TV or else.
You see kids nowadays.
That's what I mean. Nowadays, they're looking at phones. Yeah, it's worse nowadays.
Exactly.
Tablets, phones.
Yeah, tablets, yeah.
But phones, tablets, and TVs are these days, the pixel rate, the pixels are so many millions now per square. If you remember the TVs that we had, when you did look at them super close, you could see big square pixels.
You could.
Pixels were huge.
Yeah.
And it was that squareness of them big pixels that would sort of, I think, give you the feeling of you getting square eyes, like seeing them squares.
It's so.
Whereas now they're so minute, is't they? The pixels
now,
these days.
There's more kids wearing glasses now than ever before.
Yeah. Too much boob tube, man. That's what it is. Too much. Everyone's looking at stuff on their phone, man. It's all like
boob tube.
Everything. Everyone's looking at everything, man.
Yeah.
Too much going on phones.
I don't know what's it. I don't know what boob tube is.
Chris.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, Chris, are you telling us about some sites that you've been looking at?
I'm just saying in general, the amount of adults that are using boob tube, kids that are using YouTube, it's just everything's on a phone. Everything's being looked at. If you're not on a phone, you're on a computer screen.
And like I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't watch a whole film on the phone.
No, I struggle. People do though.
Used to be able to.
It's a norm for kids. It's the norm.
I find when I do that, I can't remember.
Yeah.
You're
not taking it in enough.
I couldn't.
Whenever I watch a film on my phone, I just can't remember. Whereas if I watch it on, the big screen or my PC, it's all good. My laptop is all good.
Yeah, you need a certain size screen, man.
Yeah,
I can't watch
do
things on little phones. But I mean, the younger generation, it is the norm. My one only watches phones most of the time.
Yeah,
Telly stays off.
I couldn't. Well, yes. So there goes the square eyes theory. All right. So next one. This one. This one's a funny one. This one's a funny one, Chris. Man, you're cold. It's cold. Remember in the winter. And you have to stay warm to be warm. What would your parents say, Chris? Man?
Take your coat off when you're inside. You won't feel the benefit when you go outside. I love my coat on indoors. I love feeling cozy.
That science. I love that science. Take your coat off whenever you. keep it on. You won't feel the benefit.
You won't get the benefit.
And that those are such caring and considerate words, but it's like, it is true.
It is true. There's truth.
Fuck it, I'm staying warm all the way.
Yeah,
I'm keeping the coat on. But the idea of taking your coat off, so when you do go out into the cold, do you know what? I've got an extra layer on now.
Yeah, you warm up again.
With that same coat on, and you're cold, if you've got the same coat on and you're feeling chilly inside, you're in trouble when you go outside. So mentally, let's soften the blow mentally. And if you put on a coat, you'll feel.
Yeah, it was true.
You think you feel a bit better.
Yeah, but there was some truth behind it.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, like you, Chris, I like wearing my coat inside sometimes.
Yeah, it's good to be just
cozy.
It's cozy, isn't it? Keep your coat on.
I'm putting this on.
It was good, sir. It was good. You won't feel the benefit you go outside.
You won't feel it.
Yeah, putting on the John Watson.
Another classic one we got coming in now. It's like, and this one, I think this one you might still say, people, you know,
this still gets tossed about.
So like you all go into someone's house. It's four of you all walk in. The last person has to shut the door. You have to shut the door, whether you're in a shop, someone's house, a building. You have to shut the door, because if you don't shut the door and it's cold outside, what are they going to say to you?
Were you born in a barn?
Yes.
Born in a barn.
I've heard
Still gets chucked about, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just for leaving the door open.
But that saying only works, or only is said in the winter. If it's a hot summer's day and you leave the door open, were you born in a barn is not really a question that gets asked.
Yeah, it's when you're letting in the draft, isn't it?
It's shut the fucking door, there's a draft coming in. In a polite manner.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean?
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Yeah, plenty of times.
I've definitely heard
born
that.
In a barn. But you would hear that when you were young. Like, left the door open. Were you born in the barn? Stacks, sorry, Stacks.
Chris, where's that come from?
It's back from the. I think it's an American saying, back from the days when, you know, the cattle on the ranches and stuff, and I think maybe they used to live in the barns, and you have to.
Are you making this up now?
No, there is something. It's from the prairie days. I haven't looked into that, but I do remember reading in the past. It's something to do with like the prairie days. And bringing cattle in and having to shut the doors to keep them inside. And
Stacks, you put Chris on the spot.
Yeah, it's one of the only ones I got some facts about. But there is something behind that, definitely. It's something to do with the prairie days, the cattle's on the ranches and stuff, and having to shut doors.
Well, I did call you the knowledge, so...
Were you born in a barn? All right, okay, cool. So we all say this. We used to hear it a lot. I remember... Like, you know, if your big brother or your uncle or someone older than you was going somewhere, you ask, where are you going? Or where have you been? You'd always hear this. Because they were dodgy. That's why they would say this to you. And what it was. And I would say, we've all said it as we're older as well. Yeah. And it is, ladies and gentlemen, gone to see a man about a dog.
This one.
You're up to something dodgy.
You're up to something dodgy.
It's to excuse oneself without giving the proper reason, isn't it? It's
exactly.
You're up to something dodgy.
Yeah.
This one dates back to Prohibition days in the States and back to the 20s, and it was all to do with buying illegal liquor. And it started off as I've gone to see a man about a horse. Is how it started off. But
I've see a man about a horse.
I've only ever known it as I've got to see a man about a dog. And I know I used to hear my dad saying it, and then he'd be ducking out the door, and I don't know where he'd be going. That's what he'd be up to.
He's got to do something dodgy.
I used to think he was going to bookies. But he must be going to the bookies or something like
that. That's bookie talk. That's in the 70s. That's bookie talk. Pub and bookie talk. Go see a man about a dog. You know, but gone to see it.
Yeah, that's a good saying.
That stood the test of time.
It has.
It really did. Another one that my mum used to say, and you guys probably have variations. So, if I wanted something, like that was expensive, and say my mum couldn't afford it, like say like a pair of like the latest Nike Air, my mum would turn to me and say, "You got Nike Air money?"
Yeah.
It's like the whole. It's like our parents are stand-up comedians sometimes.
Yeah, they
You
were.
have Nike Air money.
Yeah.
Nike Air money. Yeah.
Hey, do you know what I still use that saying?
Yeah, it's
I
the
love that
title,
one.
like it's the title of what you asked for. It's like,
Yeah.
do you have that exact cash for that? If you do, knock yourself out. But
Yeah.
right now, that ain't happening.
That's not
You got
happening.
Lamborghini money.
Yeah,
You got Rolls
exactly.
Royce money.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
I tell you, my
Yeah.
parents asked me questions that I had to answer quick.
And you would ask it in the sweetest manner, in the sweetest way.
Yeah, I just get batted down.
But the thing about that question, it's their long-winded way of saying no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But
But why be funny? Just say no.
Sometimes for a parent, it's
Nah.
hard to say no. You got to find another way of saying
Yeah.
no, and that's another way of saying it.
they go around the
Oh.
houses to disappoint you.
It's not even. It's
got no
not even
chance,
that.
kid.
They were just being smart. They were just being funny and sarcastic, and that hurt even more than no. Have you got Nike Air money?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
shut
what,
up.
Leroy. I'll tell you, the thing is, as a parent, it's actually funny.
It is funny. It is
It is.
funny.
So like that's
But
what I
as
say
a
now.
kid, it
I know,
hurts.
I know, yeah, it's true. But as a parent, it's
Because
it's
you
really
asked
quite
nicely.
satisfying.
Yeah, you ask nicely in the bestest
Yeah.
manner and in the bestest way, and then you get that smart aleck remark. Oh my God, it
Yeah.
hurts.
Have you got Nike Air money?
Have you got Nike Air money?
Wow.
Well, shut up then. Don't bother ask me again.
That's what it
That's
was.
basically what it
Simple as
is.
that. Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what it was, man.
You have no reply.
It's nuts. It's but you know what? But the funny thing about it, my mum said it to me just the other day.
Yeah.
You're joking.
Right, and it blew my mind that it still carries on in their vocabulary. So it was my niece's birthday. My niece turns to a big Arsenal fan, obviously. So I wanted to get an Arsenal top. But I was speaking to her mum in Barbados. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my niece the Arsenal top. She goes, you got Arsenal money? I was like,
You're a big
And you're
grown
like,
man.
Yeah,
Why
I do
you
actually. I do have Arsenal money.
I thought it was so funny, but yeah, okay. Let's move on to the next one. another one. You've probably got variations as well, guys. Again, when we were little, we wasted so much food, didn't we? We wasted so much food. There's something probably popping up in you lot's head now, but it's not that one, right? So we used to waste food, and we used to. Did you guys do this? Go by the rules of sell-by dates when you were little.
Yeah.
I did. I went by the rules because I used to drink a lot of milk when I was little, a lot of dairy products, and when that was gone, that was gone. And that whole issue went for every food for me. If I saw it had a sell-by date, well, they were right about the milk. They said 14.
I
So
ain't
it's
eating it. Yeah,
I was the same with everything like that. But when I was at home, and I saw something that didn't look right, and I said, "Mum, that's off." She would check it herself and look at me and go, "What? You off it?"
Yeah, off it. And just cut the green bit off of the crust or something, or the bit of cheese. They eat it.
They would, yeah. Your parents would say, "What you mean?" Like, but the way I said it in this, like, "You off it?" Like, you had to understand. You had to respond, and it was like, and as you're saying, Chris, yeah, just forget the green bit, just cut that away.
Yeah, cut it away.
Make it into toast. It's hard anyway, half-hearted. Make it into toast.
Once you've cooked it, you're gonna kill all the bacteria anyway.
Yeah.
Just do that.
It's funny. It's funny you
Did
say
you
it.
off it?
So yesterday, Kyla was making dinner for us, which was nice. And I went in the kitchen to see what she was doing, and there was a pepper in the food bin. I'm like, why is there a whole pepper in the food bin? She's like, it's got fur on it. I picked up the thing and looked at it. I'm like, can you show me where the fur is? There's nothing wrong with it, you know. I washed that thing. I said, listen, cut that thing up, man. What are you doing?
There you go. As you turn into an adult and a parent, you know
Yeah, you
about
understand.
survival. Things
Straight
have to
away.
last. You spend
Good
your money
food
on
in
that.
there.
You spend,
It's still got life in it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
yeah. We see it as adults because we do the shopping now. And if we've bought a product and we haven't used it,
Yeah.
we want to make sure we use it. Do you know what I mean? We want to get our money's worth.
Money.
So if it's going off, we're hanging on to that.
You're cooking it and freezing it or something. You're doing something to
We
prolong
didn't understand that as kids, but as adults now, we're understanding. Look, we've paid for that, and we're not even going to touch it and throw it from shop to bin.
Exactly.
Nah, that's not happening in my book. So we didn't understand that as kids, but we learned the lesson.
Waste not, want not.
Waste not, want not. You know what I mean? So as we say, so here's the other one that's probably bothering your minds. As I said, we used to waste food as kids, and this one was so worldwide. Like, why was this country chosen? There were starving kids everywhere.
I
but
know.
Your parents would always say to you,
because the adverts are on telly to back it up.
Yeah, because Bob Geldof
backed it.
Confused everyone.
Yeah.
And it was kids in Africa would be grateful for that.
Eat what you've got there. Finish it off.
Eat your food. You got it because the kids in Africa.
Kids in Africa would be grateful.
Did you all hear that,
Feed
guys?
the world. Let them know it's Christmas time. It's because of that.
Always Africa. There was kids around the corner starving in my classroom.
Exactly.
For real. They really give it to Africa.
There were kids in my classroom who needed that food.
Homeless people.
Wow.
They never picked on them. It was kids in Africa.
Wow.
See, I blame the adverts and Bob Geldof for that one.
Do you know why? Because the images they would put up, and because kids have a photographic image, when you hear that, you see that image, and you go, "Oh kids. No, okay, I must eat then."
Yeah, but I'll be a bit more grateful for what I got, sort of thing, isn't it?
Wow.
The thing is, them days, you couldn't say to your parents, you couldn't
no,
yeah, right.
No.
You couldn't do that to your mates. If your mate said that, if Chris said that to Darren, you go, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you couldn't say that to your parents. You had to just follow what they said. Yeah.
You wouldn't even agree. You would just eat.
You just,
you wouldn't even go, yeah, you're right. You just eat.
Yeah, I'll finish it.
Wow. The images. Okay, look, the next one, talking of images, like, if you ate a lot of these, your image, your sight, your vision would be amazing.
Here we go.
You have sight beyond sight, and that's if you ate carrots. You'd be able to see in the dark.
Yeah, everyone was told that, innit? I mean, everyone was given that.
Yeah, eat your carrots.
Eat your carrots, you'll be able to see in the dark. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone was told that, man.
The dark.
And the thing is that, like when Bugs Bunny, used to see Bugs Bunny eating carrots, used to think, man, the way he's eating that, he's munching that is cool.
He was the ambassador of carrots.
He was, yeah. You ate carrots.
He was eating that cool.
Yeah.
But when you tasted the carrot, especially if it was raw, because there were some weird kids that used to eat raw carrots, and I'm like, this is just horrible.
Yeah, right.
You mean skin on carrots?
Yeah.
Raw carrots are good.
Raw carrots are good, like Bugs Bunny. You're good,
Yeah, but I couldn't do the Bugs Bunny thing then. I was just nah, it's all right.
You can only do cooked ones.
You're right, yeah.
But that's the thing. Carrots, for me, Bugs Bunny was so popular with the carrot. If I would eat a raw carrot, I would impersonate him. It was a prop.
Yeah, it was true.
The carrot was a prop, and by the end of it, I would have eaten a carrot because of doing the impression of Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
The power of him leaning and saying, "What's up, Doc?" And I was fuming because the carrots didn't have like green spouts at the top.
Yeah, it didn't have
long green sprout.
It was a bonus if you could find one of them ones.
It's a bonus. You can find one.
Well, this carrot thing, this one dates back to World War II, and there's a good story behind this. The British Royal Air Force, they really started increasing attacks on the Nazis at night, and they were becoming really successful. And to cover the reason why they become successful, they started spreading the word that all the pilots were eating carrots to improve their night vision. But what actually happened is the British discovered how to use radar, which is what done it. But to cover that, they didn't want to let the Jerrys know we had the radar.
Let me watch your Looney Tunes.
They blanked it and spread the word that they were eating carrots.
That's the secret weapon, Looney Tunes cartoons. Wow.
I like the story behind that.
The whole cartoon theory with vegetables. He was the ambassador of carrots.
He was the ambassador, man. Like Popeye and spinach.
Yeah.
And that's what we're coming to next, Leroy, because that's the next one. because Popeye was the ambassador of spinach.
Do you like eat spinach? I love spinach. Do you like eat spinach?
Yeah, I love spinach
but mine was based on Popeye. I watched Popeye.
You thought you were going to be strong?
Yeah, I never got out of a can though.
Nah.
But I was convinced. I was convinced.
I used to eat spinach,
and
man.
I used to eat spinach.
I didn't particularly like the taste. I like it now, but back then I didn't. But I still forced myself to eat it purely because I thought I was going to get big and strong like Popeye.
Yeah,
that was a good cartoon
to
promote
because
spinach.
I eat spinach. Popeye the Sailor Man.
Whoop, whoop. The whole Popeye experience, like Popeye influenced us hard. You got to check it. We loved putting transfers on our arms.
Yeah,
we loved those. We loved those sweet pipes.
Yeah,
and we wanted to eat spinach. Do you know what I mean?
We didn't all like a sailor. That was the only good thing.
Exactly. we didn't want to be sailors.
Sailor.
But, all right, Larry Grayson. Okay. So this one here is something that I used to hear a lot because, and I think this one is more of a advice. But being a black kid in London, you were told this going to school. So I asked Leroy and Stacks this question: were you ever told, like, if you were bad in school or you weren't picking up your socks, that you had to work twice as hard?
As hard,
as the other kids in school.
I didn't hear this once as much, maybe once or twice, but definitely not as much.
No, you still hear it today, you know. You still hear it today.
You're told to work twice as hard.
All the time. You have to work twice as hard.
Yeah, you
still hear it today.
Moment. Every opportunity, right? My man told me that, man.
It's true.
Yeah, school life, college life, working life.
Yeah,
you always used to hear that from the elder generation.
Definitely.
Would you hear that, Chris? Would you ever?
No, that's what I'm saying. Not really. I wouldn't have thought of that. No, but I think I've heard it. So it must have been said to me at some point, but not in.
I think we've gone all serious now. I think it's a lot to do with the educational system towards black kids at that time.
Knowing you've got to do.
And I think
things twice as hard.
And I think our parents thought, we really have to tell our kids this because they might be blinded by everything's happy, everyone's loves each other, it's all good. But there's an undercurrent of teachers and systems wanting kids of colour wanting to underperform and just mark you off as a no good. So prove them wrong and work twice as hard, and that was the kind of message.
That was the message. That was the message that was that I understood and I believed. Because they would tell you, and some would go into depth. Because I heard it from a lot of members, of family, friends, but older generation.
The
older generation. So no, I definitely heard that. I'm still keep on hearing it.
Yeah. True. Those were the wise words from the parents, to educate yourself and work twice as hard. Another one. Since we're here comes a new challenge. Now, sitting in cars, right? I remember sitting in cars, and if a police car came by and you looked at it, the grown-ups in the car would say, "Don't look at the police." Did you not ever get that?
No, I don't remember that.
I do remember once or twice.
Not because I was rolling with dodgy people as a kid. Because police were very fast to check black people in cars.
Nah,
don't look at them.
My next door neighbour's uncle.
You might attract attention.
Yeah, he used to have a gold Rover SD1, and he'd have the house speakers in the back, so bassline banging. I remember once or twice we put up, and as kids, it's like, oh, look, it's a police car, flashing lights and all that. They're like, don't look at the police car. I'm like, why? I like police cars.
It was like, don't look at them. It's like I turned to stone or something. It's like I would see the devil inside. It was freak. It was scary. Yeah. So let's get out of
that one. Thank you, new challenger.
So come on, so this question would come again if you've been adolescent, or you're just cocky and you're not addressing people right. And you're talking about someone, maybe you're talking about your auntie, or you're talking about your mum to someone else, and you would say she.
Ooh.
What would they say to you?
They would say, "Who's she? She's the cat's mother."
Oh,
He's the cat's mother.
Oh my God!
It's normally, like you say, when you're referring to an elder, but in front of them, but to someone else. They would say it. And again, this goes back. There's a play at the Globe Theatre that went back into the 1800s, and this is in the script, but it's referred to in a way where people used to call male cats tomcats, female cats were called she cats. So you're referring to the she as a female cat, like how now the equivalent would be calling someone a bitch, innit, like a female dog. So back in like the 1800s, it was looked at like that, and I think that's where that still stems from. But I'd hear this all the time.
I got corrected, man, a few times.
Yeah, all the time.
Who's she? The cat's mother.
And that it was a proper disrespect.
Yeah. You had to
it was the look.
It was like the B word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the look on the adult's face when you said that. Mistakenly, inadvertently, you would just say, "Yeah, but she said
it'd slip out.
She?
Yeah.
Who's she?"
Ain't having it, man.
Like, the disrespect.
You could not disrespect. And again, another one. Did you guys ever had this? If a guest came into the house and you didn't say hello or
good afternoon, good evening,
good evening,
There's no
way. Like, did you guys ever had an announcement moment where your mum or your parents would bring you out and say, "So aren't you going to say hello?"
That would be the worst, isn't it?
Say good evening.
Yeah, in front of a room full.
Oh my
that
God.
feeling. I melted like the guy in Razor Lost Ark. It's just melted and felt low. Oh my God.
That's the ultimate. That's another one.
Because then you have to say it. It's
you got to.
In front of everyone.
Yeah. If it's an auntie, give her a kiss or give her a kick.
Yeah.
It's like double bad.
It's like, why are you pretending someone I'm not? Like,
yeah, exactly.
If I don't normally do this, then but
just leave me in it.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Or it got so routine that just a look, no more they had to say. Aren't you gonna say just a look?
Go and introduce yourself or whatever.
Go and introduce yourself.
Just give it a look.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
That look said 1,000 words. Yeah.
As kids, we had to do quite a lot of things we didn't want to do.
You had to represent because you were representing your parents. If you weren't saying hello, please, thank you, it'll be a reflection on your parents. They ain't bringing up the kid, right? The kid ain't saying good morning, hello, good afternoon. Do you want a drink?
It's the parents' fault.
Should I buy your shopping? Like man. Do you know what I mean?
Man.
You had to have maximum respect.
You had no power as a child.
No.
Do as you're told. Be seen and not heard. It was them, man.
Or sometimes I got an ultra sly one where I didn't say hello or whatever. Them ones where, have you ever done that one where like they're in the living room, but you could run past and go to your room and not have to say anything. You think no one knows you've come in, but your parents knew. And then when all the guests are gone, they'll say, "Did you see so and so earlier? Did you say hello?"
Yeah.
They know you didn't.
They know you
didn't. It's up to you to admit it or make up some story or cook up a story or just say. Do you know what I mean?
I'm a storyteller.
You tell us. But I was in a hurry. I was in a rush, and
no,
not good enough.
It's just they ask you a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
It's,
anyway,
it's like, come on, man. Why are you asking me when you know the answer?
It's like, remember, there was a lot of cop shows in the 80s.
Done what I told you to do, I won't have to ask you.
Exactly.
To say it,
They done interrogation on you. They watched a lot of Taggart and stuff, and the Gentle Touch, and they
Juliet Bravo.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They questioned you.
That's a classic Taggart,
So as I said, there are loads of sayings, there are loads of things that we were told, as kids. And the last one is, What's the last one, Chris? What is the last one?
Another classic one, man.
Another classic one. The last one.
You'll hear it. Stop it, or you'll go blind. Every kid got it. Every kid got it. And it was a way. It was a way of parents sort of teaching their kids about exploring themselves and shit. You know, when you were twanging it like a guitar and shit when you were like 3 or 4 years old. It was I think I was told more, if you don't leave it alone, it'll fall off. I think that was another one I was told quite a bit.
Leroy's face.
Chris, you threw me off there because when you wrote this one, I didn't know it was that. I didn't.
What else are gonna? That's always stop it or you'll go blind.
I was thinking Chris must have something for this one. I want to
Stop it or you'll go blind is what it is.
I was thinking it. You know, the closest thing for me, I was thinking was, you know, like you're gonna poke someone's eye out with that if you're swinging a pole or a hanger.
You could do if you got that excited.
Or you're oh, no.
But I wasn't thinking of that.
This is a Chris special moment.
This is a
Chris special moment.
You know what?
And Chris, I can say now, I'm out because
your eyesight went first, D, man. You went back in Police Academy days.
Oh, Christopher.
Special. Oh man.
But
he saved the best for last.
He did.
Yeah, he did. He definitely got to
Classic.
save the best for last.
Most people were told stop it or you'll go blind. Most of them were told.
that is not an experience I've had.
No, it's not.
Guys, I'll leave you to the floor. I'll be back when you little physical.
Listen, I'm stunned. I'm actually stunned and still like Perseus's men who looked at Medusa.
I wasn't thinking it was that.
I don't know what else you would think it is.
I just didn't. I thought he was playing with nunchuckers. I didn't like it.
Death Stars.
I wasn't thinking that. What? But remember, Chris, this is like things your parents used to say, like a regular. This is a regular saying. This is a regular saying, Chris.
It was a regular thing.
This podcast is based on regular saying.
This is one of them superstitions that I was told, you know, but you know.
Well, okay. Wow.
I think a lot of people were told this.
No, guys out there, if you're listening, if you can relate to that one, let us know, please. Please.
Stop it or you'll go blind.
Wow. Okay.
On that note.
Yeah. On that note, it has been amazing ride back to the retro land of 1980s when we were kids. And I just want to big up all the 70s and 80s kids who grew up at that time, who had parents who said all those wise words and many more. You know, and big up all the parents that wanted to keep us safe with these wise words. And we still use them now.
Yeah, if it wasn't for, you know, some of those sayings, and you know what I mean, we wouldn't have grown up.
Exactly.
Yeah, we wouldn't be the people we are.
Jumped off that cliff.
You might have jumped on the cliff with him. Yeah.
But Darren, I have to say, have you got Nike money?
You got Nike money?
You got Nike money?
Have you got Nike money? That's a classic one.
So guys, thank you all the love that brought us up in the 80s. We love you all. I'm Mr. Lucas.
I'm Chris.
I'm Stacks.
I'm the last dragon, and we're strong to the finish because we are finished. Then one by the sailor man.
What's up, dog?
Till next time.
Till next time, guys. Thank you
Till
so much.
next time, peace and love. We got a special episode coming soon.